Oh, it's time. Time to get radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I really can't say happy birthday. I can't wish Chandler Riggs a happy birthday because his birthday was yesterday. I'm a day late to the party. Literally and figuratively, I'm a day late to the party. He did invite me to the party. I would have went to the party. That would have been pretty awesome because I was a fan of Carl Grimes on the show. By the way, Chandler Riggs is the guy who played Carl Grimes, the son of Rick Grimes, on The Walking Dead. I mean, to hang out with anyone from that show would be pretty awesome. I was a big fan of that show. Emphasis on the was a big fan of that show. But I'll get to that in a minute. I'll explain to you all how I know Chandler Riggs. You might be saying, did I grow up with Chandler Riggs? Do I live near him? Nah. I just put a video on the internet that got the attention of someone in Chandler Riggs' family. This person started writing me in the comment section. Really liked the video. I would say we became, I suppose, pen pals now. Gave me a wonderful compliment. Said that I have a great radio voice and asked if I do radio anywhere. A lot of people ask that. I don't talk like this all the time. Sometimes I just, go into a certain voice for these YouTube videos. I don't go full radio voice. I have different voices, you may have noticed from now. I have different accents. But it's just really nice. Because you see Chandler, if you're watching this video, or any of you, the thing about YouTube is there's a lot of trash that comes to the channel on YouTube. There's a lot of people that come to this channel that don't understand the videos or are very salty over some videos that I make. Even though I speak the truth, a lot of the time, people don't like hearing that truth. And they don't like being shown the error of their ways. That's not the only thing I do here. I'm probably going to be getting away from that because it's just, there's only so many hours you can spend in the comment section talking to butthurt, angry fanboys about video games. Like, there's still people leaving comments, fucking novels, under my Star Citizen video. I even regret making those videos just to have to deal with replying to this bullshit. I think I stopped replying to a lot of that. I got a real life, okay? I don't have hours and hours to argue with you all about a video game that you spent thousands and thousands of dollars on that isn't even out yet. I mean, hell, even mentioning that, there's probably going to be people in the comment section, Thur, let me explain to you how you're wrong, Thur. I'm like, no, I just really, part of me doesn't even want to hear that bullshit anymore going forward. But Chandler, you don't want to hear about none of this, okay? I assume Chandler's going to watch this because his cousin's going to show him the video, and I got to make it good, okay? The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is one of the biggest shows that have ever been on TV. I mean, literally, it is one of the biggest shows that it's ever been on TV. I remember, along with a lot of you former fans, the excitement curling around the TV every Sunday, just anticipating the next episode. The Walking Dead was a fantastic show. It was great. It was compelling. And the fact that these writers made something like zombies into something so amazing, I've never seen anything like it. But the thing is, they say all good things come to an end. All good shows, at some point, maybe start getting stale. They start sucking. And to me, The Walking Dead is a pale shadow of what it used to be. I look back on legendary characters like Shane, like Carl, like Herschel, and I'm looking at the show right now, and I'm looking at characters like Tara and Jesus, and I'm like, where are the legendary characters? They can't make me care about the show anymore. And the big reason is most of all the people that were on the show in the earlier seasons are gone. I mean, who's left? Who's left really that's important? You got Daryl, Carol, you got Rick, you got Michonne, Morgan, and you got all these, I'm sure they're great actors in their own right. And maybe I'm wrong on this, but I find myself really not giving a damn about a lot of these characters on the show, a lot of these side characters. And maybe that's just because I'm a little jaded. Ever since the whole Glenn fake out and the dumpster death and the season opener for season 7, maybe I'm just a little jaded from all that. Or maybe just it all gets to you after a while, and you're like, why am I watching this show anymore? Why am I watching this show anymore when all they seem to build up to on that show anymore is big character deaths? To me, that's not a good show. I think of other great shows that I've watched, and yes, character deaths can be a very important tool, but you use character deaths to maybe affect some of the other characters. It's a tool that you should use sparingly. But it seems like on The Walking Dead, they just kill people left and right. It's just a side thought. And we're supposed to care. I'm supposed to care when a character like Denise gets an arrow through the head. I'm supposed to see Daryl's agony and anguish, and I'm just like, that's not anything like the Beth death. It's not. So, again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just have one opinion here. But that's one of the bigger problems is they just can't make me care about these characters like I just don't give a shit anymore. And a big part of the reason is I don't give a shit because there's a lost sense of hope in the show. And I'm sorry, there might be little pauses here because I have a little bit of indigestion right now. I had a big dinner. But to take that character that for seasons and seasons we were trained to care so much about, to see as the future of the show. Carl, to me, in that show, represented hope. Okay? He was the future. He was hope. He was the son of the main character. And in popular media, usually the son of the main character is the one that carries the torch into the future. The thing is, there is no future for Carl Grimes. He was killed on the show. And it wasn't a legendary death. It wasn't a death where he's like, maybe saving his dad or saving Laurie's kid, Judith. It wasn't anything like that. In fact, I can't even really remember what it was. That's how pointless it kind of was. It just felt pointless to me. Like, you're telling me a main character like that doesn't go out in an incredibly amazing fashion. Like, compare that to, like, Herschel, okay? Compare that to his death. I mean, and to me, that's the most epic death on the show, really, because Herschel, even after having half of his head cut off, he was still crawling around, There's a running joke about Herschel. It's hard to take him out, But I miss earlier seasons of the show. And I just can't bring myself to watch the show anymore. I haven't even seen most of season 8. I kind of buzzed out after the Carl death stuff because I looked at it and I said, this show is over. I looked at it and I said, there's no more Carl. It's just over. Why am I giving a shit about anything going forward? Because again, I was trained to care about Carl. All the focus was on Coral. That's where all the focus of the show was. You might say, no, it was Rick. It's Rick's show. Well, you say it's Rick's show, yeah, but Carl was the future. Okay, so you could split it even to me. Now get to some of the some news, because I went over a lot of this stuff in this other video. I'll leave a link to in the comment section below if you want to go into that. That talks a lot about, I hope I don't repeat myself, because I'm sure a lot of this stuff and a lot of my gripes I mentioned in that video too. What I found out from Carl's cousin, Chandler Riggs, what I found out from Chandler's cousin is he's actually right now in Georgia. This is the exclusive news. Sorry I had to make you wait. He's in Georgia right now, filming for season 9. And you might say, but dude, he's dead. Why is he down there filming? He's there, Herschel's there, a person who played T-Dog, Beth. A lot of the people that died that were important to Rick are down there right now. And you know what this probably means. This probably means Rick is going to be gone from the show. That's already been covered. Oh, by the way, season 9 is going to be Andrew Lincoln's last season on the show. But, you know, what it is there's probably going to be some flashback segments. It's going to be maybe a big moment where all these past characters, maybe their spirits are meeting Rick. Kind of like when that one character died. I forget who it was, but there was one character who died. Tyrese. It was Tyrese, and he was hallucinating, and he saw the governor, and he saw all the other people, you know, that had died previously before, you know, he got bitten by a zombie. Now, I don't know exactly how Rick's going to die or whatnot, but he's leaving the show. Also, Lauren Conrad's leaving the show, and it's really hard to process that this is really the end of The Walking Dead. It's not hard for me because I've already left the show. I don't care about the show anymore. If I want to watch the show, I'll get on Netflix and I'll watch some earlier seasons. I still do from time to time, especially a lot of the stuff at the prison. Because, and like I said, I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a good actor. You know, Negan's been okay. But there's just so much silly storytelling. Like, I did see the season finale of season 8, and that shit was just lame. I mean, the big climactic battle between Rick and Negan, they're running around a freaking tree. It's just so silly. And then Eugene rigs all the guns to go off at once, and that was the all-out war. Looks like they were going all out to save money. It's just such a letdown. Season 8 was such a letdown. But it could have been salvageable. The whole thing could have been salvageable if fucking Scott Gimple wouldn't have made this stupid-ass decision to kill off Chandler Riggs' character. Now, officially, he said he wanted to, from what I hear, you know, he wanted to take it in a different direction and see how it affected Rick and everything. Well, you could kill off any characters and see how it affects somebody. But what it does is, in real life, pisses off the cast of the show. It pisses off Andrew Lincoln, who is leaving the show because he's like, I don't see any way going forward because my bloodline son, Carl, is no longer on the show. What is the reasoning for going forward? You could even make the argument, you know, maybe if Carl's character would have been, like, groomed a little more, he could have took over the show because he was the son of Rick. I mean, now I'll flash something I want to show you that if you think I'm full of crap and you're like, you really don't know anything, you know, how do you have this exclusive information? A lot of it's common sense, okay? Rick is leaving the show. Season 9 is his last season, okay? Lauren Conrad leaving the show, and Chandler Riggs is going back. You know, that's why they're filming in Georgia, okay? Because going to have that last big segment. Again, if I had to guess, I would say, you know, it's going to be like a very heavenly thing where there's spirits and they're ascending. It might be done hokily, I'm not sure. He might have flashbacks. And it really doesn't matter. You might wonder, how's Rick's going to die? It doesn't matter. He's going to be dead. Going forward, they're going to be offering Daryl, what's Norman Reedus? They're going to be offering Norman Reedus the lead role of the show. They're going to be, I think, doubling his salary. And in this picture I'm going to show you right now, check this out. Look at there. It's AMC promoting all their shows. I've never seen Daryl promoted in one of those slides before. It's always been Rick. Rick's the main character of the show. So that's your proof positive right there. They're going with Daryl as the lead character. Okay? Not Carol, not Morgan, but Daryl. Daryl's their moneymaker, right? Even though I think the only person that can truly lead the show would be Carol. Her character is It's fleshed out. I see her as being the leader. I don't see Daryl as being a leader because mostly he hasn't done a lot of talking, and you need to talk a lot. You need to have conflictions. I, I'm not saying he doesn't have the acting chops, but his character would have to change drastically to be a leader type character. Because from we've only really seen him kind of grumbling like this. Rick, Michonne, I'm tracking him. That's not a main character. Okay, that's maybe like just the hunky heartthrob on the side that sells a lot of posters to females. That's not your lead character, all right? Now, going forward, I'm kind of happy for a lot of the people that leave the show because you think about it, with a long-running show like that, that's a lot of your life, going down to Georgia and filming. That's a big commitment. And I think Chandler's cousin told me that he's kind of happy in a way to... I forget what he said, so I don't really want to put words into his mouth, but I think he's just got to be happy not happy about how the show was handled, but happy to go forward to his new projects and everything. I think there's a movie Chandler's working on, so good luck with that. But and there's a movie I saw the other day with Glenn's character called Mayhem. Mayhem's a fantastic movie. Look it up. It's there's a lot of blood and gore in it. No zombies though. But we've watched this show for years and years now. And with Rick leaving, AMC's probably hopeful that they can string enough people together to watch the show. You still got Michonne, you got Carol, you got Morgan, you got Daryl, but Rick he is the show. You can't have a Walking Dead without Rick Grimes. And to even attempt that just seems very silly. I think if they wanted to go out on a high note, I know they won't do this because they still like making their money, just have the show end with Rick having a heroic sacrifice. Maybe have him sacrificing himself to save Judith. Maybe have some, final words with Daryl and everybody gathered around him. And then, you do like a fast forward into the future, and maybe you see Judith all grown up. Whatever ending of the show they're going to have right now is just going to be trash. It's going to be garbage because they made the terrible decision, like I said, to kill Carl Grimes. And when you did that, you basically killed the hope of the show. You killed the future of the show. And you also killed a lot of your fan base. Okay, so great job, Scott Gimple. But yeah.
Chandler Riggs, he's my American son. He's an incredibly sweet young man, and to watch somebody grow on screen and off over the last 8 years has been one of the great privileges of my career. He's a super fine actor. He's taught me about the South, his kind of humor, his faith, his manners, and his Southern charm, has soaked into my bones, and he's a very, very special part of my life.